In the marketing department office on the 12th floor of Meditech Solutions, a medical device manufacturer in Chicago, Emily Johnson was doing a final check on the weekend sales reports. It had been 3 years since she became the youngest department manager in the company. Outside the window, the gentle May sunset was painting Lake Michigan golden. Emily's cell phone rang. It was from her mother, Carol. "Emily, good work today. I have something I need to discuss with you." Her mother's voice had that familiar wheedling tone. Emily sighed inwardly. From experience, her mother's discussions always involved requests for financial assistance. What kind of discussion? "Well, Jessica is moving to a new apartment. But she's short on the security deposit. Could you lend her about $3,000? Emily stared at her computer screen as she answered. "Again? I just helped with her apartment rent last month. She's working hard as an influencer right now. But her income isn't stable yet. You're successful, so you could help out a little, couldn't you?" Her sister Jessica had never held a steady job since graduating from college. She called herself an influencer and kept posting on social media, but she had only a few hundred followers and virtually no actual income. Still, their mother constantly believed in Jessica's potential and kept asking Emily for financial support. "Mom, I'm saving for wedding expenses too. Michael and I decided to pay for everything ourselves." "Oh, that reminds me," Carol's voice suddenly brightened. "Jessica might bring her new boyfriend. He's a wonderful man, and your father and I both like him." Emily frowned. This was supposed to be about her wedding, so why was it turning into talk about her sister's love life? "More importantly, will you come to my final dress fitting? It's next Saturday." "Oh, I'm a bit busy that day. I have plans to meet Jessica's boyfriend. But I'm sure it will be a lovely dress. Your choices are always perfect." After hanging up, Emily exhaled deeply. Since childhood, she had been treated as the irresponsible one in the family. Her father Robert was gentle but lacked decisiveness, often following their mother's opinions. And their mother always treated Jessica as the special and talented child, while expecting Emily to support the family as the irresponsible eldest daughter. In high school, when Jessica was suspended for trouble with friends, Emily cut into her college prep study time to help tutor her sister. In college, when Jessica couldn't make her credit card payments, Emily helped out with her part-time job earnings. Even after getting a job, whenever Jessica said she was starting a new business and failed, Emily was always the one cleaning up the mess. Late that night, Emily headed to her fiancé Michael Harrison's apartment. He was a partner at the major law firm Harrison & Associates, an excellent attorney specializing in financial crimes. He possessed both calm intelligence and a warm personality. "Tough day today," Michael said, embracing her. "You got a call from your mother, didn't you? How did you know?" "I can tell from your expression. She said something about your sister again, didn't she?" Emily relaxed her shoulders. In front of Michael, she could always be her true self. He understood her family's complicated relationships and was always on her side. This time it's a security deposit for a new apartment. $3,000. Again? Michael frowned. "Emily, you've already helped your family more than enough. Don't you think it's time to set some boundaries?" "I know. But when Mom asks, I can't say no." Michael took her hand. "Our wedding is in 3 months. Your family needs to respect our new life together." Emily nodded. But deep down, she was beginning to wonder if her family really cared about their wedding. Her mother's reaction when she handed out the invitations was lukewarm, and her sister had said, "I'm busy, so I don't know if I can make it." That night, Emily made a decision. She would stop responding to her family's unreasonable demands. She would prioritize her own life, her future with Michael. In early July, with 2 months remaining until the wedding, Emily went for her final wedding dress fitting on the weekend. Elegant Bridal was an established shop in downtown Chicago that Michael's mother had recommended. "Emily, that dress is absolutely beautiful," shop owner Mrs. Collins exclaimed. "Simple yet so elegant. Isn't your mother coming?" Emily smiled wryly as she looked at herself in the mirror. Mother couldn't make it because she's busy. In reality, she had invited Carol multiple times, but was turned down with different excuses each time. First it was, I have plans to meet Jessica's new boyfriend, then, I couldn't get a hair appointment, and last week it was, I have a headache. All of Emily's friends had enjoyed dress shopping with their mothers, but she was experiencing this important moment alone. That evening, Emily decided to invite her family to dinner. She planned to discuss the final wedding details at Michael's apartment. Mom, how about next Saturday night? Michael and I will cook dinner, and we can all talk about the wedding. On the other end of the phone, Carol paused before answering. Saturday? Wait, let me check my calendar. Oh, Jessica wants to introduce Brent. He's her new boyfriend. Such a wonderful man, and he's a businessman. But this is about my wedding. Emily's voice carried a hint of irritation. Of course, I understand how important it is. But Jessica is finally in a serious relationship. We're so happy. We never expected her to date such a wonderful man. In the end, the dinner was postponed. Instead, Carol spent 30 minutes talking about Jessica's new boyfriend. Brent ran an investment company, owned several luxury cars, and took Jessica to expensive restaurants and spas. The following week, Emily went to hand-deliver wedding invitations to her family. The family home was in a middle-class suburban neighborhood outside Chicago. The lawn was well-maintained and the house's exterior was kept neat, but for Emily, it was a place where complicated childhood memories resurfaced. The invitation is lovely, Carol said as she took the envelope. However, her eyes were focused on the travel magazine on the table rather than the invitation. Say, Emily, have you ever been to Italy? No, not yet. Jessica and Brent are planning a trip to Italy. Rome, Florence, Venice. 2 weeks of luxury travel. We've been invited too. Father Robert looked up from the sofa. Carol, let's talk about Emily's wedding first. Of course, Robert, Carol opened the invitation. August 12th. I'll remember that. But Emily didn't think her mother was really interested. Carol immediately returned to talking about the Italy trip, enthusiastically describing how Jessica had had this fateful encounter. Brent is such a gentleman, treating Jessica like a queen. He books luxury hotel suites and arranges first-class plane tickets. Emily frowned. That's very expensive, isn't it? Jessica's only been dating him for about a month, right? Love doesn't depend on time, Carol's eyes sparkled. Besides, Brent is wealthy, so he doesn't worry about such things. That night, Emily told Michael about her family's reaction. To be honest, I wonder if they're really interested in our wedding, Michael said, choosing his words carefully. Your mother seems more excited about your sister's romantic relationship than about the important moments in your life. But their family, Emily tried to argue, but couldn't find the words to continue. A few days later, while checking her airline mileage program statement, Emily noticed something strange. Over the past 3 months, her miles had decreased dramatically. What should have been over 100,000 miles was now only 20,000. That's odd, Emily examined the statement closely. I haven't flown anywhere recently. Michael looked at the statement too. Someone might be using your account to purchase airline tickets. Did you give your password to anyone? Only to family members. But surely not. Emily called the airline. The customer service representative explained the recent transactions. Ms. Johnson, on June 15, 3 business-class round-trip tickets from Chicago to Rome were exchanged using miles. The names are Carol Johnson, Jessica Johnson, and Brent McDonald. Emily's hand holding the phone trembled. I didn't make that reservation. I apologize, but the reservation was made officially from your account. If you'd like to cancel, there will be fees involved. After hanging up, Emily was stunned. Her family had booked an Italy trip using her miles without her consent. Moreover, the travel dates were from August 10th to 24th. This completely overlapped with her wedding date. I can't believe it, Michael couldn't hide his anger. Your family chose an Italy trip over your wedding? Emily took out her cell phone with shaking hands and called her mother. Mom, I need to talk about my mileage account. Oh, Emily. Let me explain. Brent suddenly had to change the Italy trip dates due to work. Then we couldn't find cheap airline tickets. Jessica suggested using your miles. But those dates overlap with my wedding. There was a brief silence on the phone. Oh, was that the case? But we've already made the reservation, and Brent has adjusted his work schedule, so it's difficult to change. Can't you postpone the wedding? Emily was speechless. Her mother was suggesting postponing her daughter's wedding to prioritize a trip with her sister's boyfriend. Mom, this is the most important day of my life. I understand, Emily. But this is Jessica's chance to finally be happy. She's failed at so many things before, hasn't she? This time she's found true love. As her big sister, couldn't you support your sister's happiness? That night, Emily cried in Michael's arms. For 32 years, she had sacrificed herself for her family. But even on the biggest day of her life, her family chose her sister over her. Enough is enough, Michael said, stroking her hair. It's time for you to become independent from your family. Our wedding will go on as planned. If they don't want to come, that's their choice. Emily nodded as she wiped away her tears. On the morning of August 12th, Chicago was blessed with a cloudless, clear sky. Emily woke up at 7 a.m. in her hotel room. It was her wedding day. Outside the window, Lake Michigan sparkled golden in the morning sun. Good morning, bride, her best friend Sarah got up from the next bed. As maid of honor, she had spent the night with Emily. Today will be a wonderful day. Emily managed a smile. Thank you, Sarah. I'm so glad you're here. At 9 a.m., the hair and makeup stylist arrived. Emily's hair was elegantly styled up, and her makeup was natural yet appropriately glamorous for the wedding. When she put on her dress, she was indeed a beautiful bride in the mirror. But there was no mother or sister there. At 11 a.m., Emily picked up her cell phone. There was still no contact from her family. The ceremony was scheduled to start at 2 p.m. Maybe they had changed their plans. Holding on to that hope, she called her mother. After 3 rings, Carol's bright voice responded. However, in the background, she could hear unfamiliar music and multiple people laughing. Emily. How are you? Mom, where are you right now? Emily's heart was racing. Right now? Oh, I'm in Rome. Carol's voice was innocent, as if she were talking about the most natural thing in the world. We toured the Roman Forum yesterday. We're planning to go to Vatican City today. The weather is so nice. Emily was speechless. But Mom, today is my wedding. There was a short silence on the phone. Then Carol laughed out loud. Oh, was that today? Emily's hands trembled. Her mother was laughing. She had completely forgotten her daughter's wedding day and was laughing. Mom, you're joking, right? Sorry, Emily. But this Italy trip has been so wonderful. Brent takes us to lovely places every day. Last night we dined at Rome's most expensive restaurant. Jessica and your father are here too. Can I talk to my sister? Emily's voice was trying to stay calm but was shaking. Of course, wait a moment. Jessica, it's Emily. After a while, Jessica's high-pitched voice came through. Emily. Thank you for the miles. Business class was amazing. Caviar and champagne, and I slept perfectly in the fully flat seat. Brent was impressed too. Emily gripped the phone. Her sister was expressing gratitude, but not for missing her sister's wedding. She was thanking her for the miles she had used without permission. Jessica, today is my wedding. Oh, that's right. Sorry, Emmy. But Brent prepared a surprise for me this morning. I got a ring at the Trevi Fountain. An engagement ring. Look, look. In the background, Carol's excited voice could be heard. Let's take pictures. Everyone toast with wine. At that moment, Emily's cell phone chimed with a notification. It was a photo message from Jessica. The screen showed a picture of her 3 family members and Brent toasting with wine glasses against the beautiful Roman scenery, all beaming with smiles. Father Robert had a broad grin, Mother Carol was holding a wine glass in her right hand while making a peace sign with her left, Jessica was showing off her new engagement ring with her hand extended, and Brent beside her had a smug expression. Below the photo was a message from Jessica, "Cheers in Rome. Best day of my life." Emily closed the screen without saying anything. The family bonds she had built over 32 years felt like they had crumbled in an instant. On the most important day of her life, not one family member was by her side. Instead, they were celebrating another best day of life in a distant place. "Emily? Are you okay?" Sarah asked with concern. When Emily turned around, she noticed that not only Sarah but also Michael's mother, Catherine Harrison, and his sister Rebecca were in the room. Their faces showed deep concern and indignation. "They're really not coming," Catherine's voice carried obvious contempt while maintaining the dignity characteristic of the upper class. "I can't believe it. Choosing a vacation over their daughter's wedding." Rebecca took her hand. "Emily, we are your family. From today, you're a member of the Harrison family." At 1:30 p.m., Emily was putting the finishing touches on her appearance in the dressing room. The bride in the mirror was beautiful, but deep sadness dwelt in her eyes. There was a knock at the door, and Michael peeked in. "Emily, are you ready?" When she turned around, she could see anger and sadness in Michael's eyes too. But he was trying to smile for her sake. "Michael, my family." "That's enough," Michael took her hand. "If your family doesn't value you, that's their loss. Today is our day. Yours and mine, and the day for those who love us." Michael whispered gently in her ear. "It's okay. They're the ones who will regret this." At 2 p.m., the wedding ceremony began. In Chicago's historic church, Michael's family and friends, Emily's colleagues and friends had gathered. The family seats reserved for Emily remained empty. However, Michael's family warmly welcomed her, and friends sent heartfelt blessings. Walking down the aisle, Emily realized something. Even without blood relations, there were so many people who truly loved and cherished her. And when she saw Michael's loving eyes waiting at the altar, she was able to smile from her heart. During the ceremony, Emily's cell phone vibrated several times. Probably messages from her family. But she ignored them. This moment was the beginning of her new life with Michael. When they exchanged vows, exchanged rings, and shared their first kiss, the venue was filled with warm applause. This ceremony, conducted by Michael's father Judge Harrison, was beautiful and solemn despite the absence of family. "You're not alone," Michael said, embracing Emily after the ceremony. "Our family welcomes you wholeheartedly. From today, you're truly a member of our family." At that night's reception, Michael's mother Catherine gave a speech. "Emily, you have brought wonderful love to our son. And from today, you are our daughter. Bound by bonds stronger than blood, as a true family." Emily stood up, wiping away tears. "Thank you. Today, I understood the true meaning of family. Family means people who respect each other and support each other." That night, in the hotel's honeymoon suite, Emily turned on her cell phone. There were dozens of messages from her family, but she deleted them all without reading them. Tonight was the beginning of her new life. 3 days later, Emily and Michael returned from their honeymoon. The short newlywed trip to Napa Valley hadn't been enough time to heal the wounds of her family's betrayal, but it had deepened their bond. While checking mail at their new home in Chicago, Emily's face turned pale. "Michael, look at this," Emily held out an envelope with trembling hands. "It's a bill from Platinum Credit Card Company. But I don't have a card from this company." Michael opened the envelope and looked through the statement. His expression gradually became stern. "Emily, this is serious. The balance is $180,000. And it's in your name. That can't be right. I've never applied for this card." That afternoon, 2 more bills arrived. From Gold American Card and Premium MasterCard. In total, the debt in Emily's name exceeded $2 million. Someone is using your personal information to fraudulently create multiple credit cards, Michael analyzed as a legal expert. This is clearly identity theft. We need to contact the police and card companies immediately. The next morning, Emily visited the Platinum Credit Card Company office with Michael. Mr. Davis, head of the Fraud Investigation Department, handled their case. Ms. Johnson, I apologize, but these cards were issued through proper procedures, Mr. Davis explained while checking documents. The application forms contain your social security number, date of birth, employment information, and even your mother's maiden name, all accurately. But I didn't apply for them, Emily desperately pleaded. We also conducted handwriting analysis on the signatures, and they match your signature. Compared with past bank records, they appear to be written by the same person. Michael leaned forward. That's impossible. My wife has never even traveled abroad, so how could she make payments at luxury hotels and restaurants in Rome? Mr. Davis pulled out another document. Actually, that's the strange part. Looking at the card usage history, it was used simultaneously in Chicago and Rome during the same period. This is normally impossible. Then Emily realized. I've given my personal information to my mother and sister. They said it was for emergencies. Michael's and Mr. Davis's eyes lit up. That's it, Mr. Davis couldn't hide his excitement. Probably someone in your family used your information to fraudulently apply for cards and also forged signatures. That night, Michael reported the situation to his father, Judge Harrison. The former federal judge was furious when he heard the story. This is an unforgivable criminal act, the judge's voice trembled with anger. Are they trying to make my son's wife into a criminal? This is also an insult to the Harrison family. The next day, the Harrison family's legal team began to move. The investigation department of Harrison and Associates, the law firm established by Michael's father, began a thorough investigation of Emily's family. A week later, the investigation results were revealed. Michael reported to Emily with a heavy expression. Emily, please sit down and listen. As a result of our investigation, we've discovered that your mother and sister have been fraudulently creating multiple credit cards in your name for the past 2 years. Emily leaned back in her chair. 2 years. Yes. The first card was created around the time you started dating me. It was probably planned in anticipation of your improved financial situation after marriage. Michael spread out a stack of documents. The signature forgery was extremely sophisticated. Your mother had studied your signature for years and became able to perfectly imitate it. She also used your personal information to forge income verification documents. I can't believe it, Emily held her head in her hands. But why wasn't it discovered? Payments were made properly for the first few months. Probably your mother and others initially planned to repay systematically. However, usage amounts gradually increased, and repayment became difficult. Then, timing it with your wedding, they made a large expenditure for the Italy trip. The investigation report contained even more shocking facts. Jessica's businessman boyfriend, Brent, was actually a con artist with a criminal record of swindling money from multiple women. And the real purpose of the Italy trip was for Brent to escape investigation of another fraud case. Your family unknowingly helped a con artist escape, Michael's voice was cold. And all the funds came from fraudulent credit cards created in your name. That afternoon, Judge Harrison held a press conference. With local media gathered, he announced with a stern expression. Today, we have submitted charges to the federal prosecutor's office for organized identity fraud. The victim is my son's wife, and the perpetrators are her biological family. This is not simply a family dispute. This is a fraud case exceeding $2 million. A reporter asked, Judge Harrison, why are you taking such a high-profile approach? An attack on my family is the same as a challenge to the judicial system. No matter who the criminals are, they must be equal before the law. Blood relations can never justify crime. That night, Emily's cell phone rang. It was from her mother Carol. But this time there was no laughter. Instead, she heard crying and pleading voices. Emily, please, help me. The FBI is here. They say I'm going to be arrested. If you withdraw the charges, everything will be resolved. Mom, Emily's voice was quiet. You people created $2 million in debt using my name. You tried to ruin my life. That wasn't our intention. I thought Jessica could be happy. And I thought once you married Michael, you wouldn't have to worry about money. Even though you missed my wedding and enjoyed a trip with my money? On the other end of the phone, Jessica's voice could be heard. Emmy, big sister, we're family, aren't we? Family helps each other. Brent promised he'll pay the money back properly this time. Emily took a deep breath. Jessica, your Brent is a con artist. He's already run away. You were all deceived. After a long silence, Carol spoke again. Emily, please. Are you going to put your mother in prison? I'm your mother. Mom, Emily answered while wiping away tears. A real mother would attend her daughter's wedding. A real family wouldn't involve someone in crimes. After hanging up, Emily cried on Michael's chest. The concept of family that she had believed in for 32 years had completely crumbled at that moment. The next morning, the local newspaper's front page carried the headline, "Former federal judge's son's wife victim of $2 million fraud by own family." The article detailed how the Harrison family had taken legal action based on the belief that justice transcends blood relations. A year later, Emily and Michael celebrated their first wedding anniversary in a beautiful house in suburban Chicago. In the garden, Michael's parents and his sister Rebecca were preparing a barbecue. Laughter and warm conversation echoed in the evening air. Emily, this letter. Michael pulled out an envelope from the mail. It's from your father. Emily looked at the envelope. The sender's name was Robert Johnson, and the address was a state prison. Without hesitation, she threw the unopened envelope into the trash. Aren't you going to read it? Michael asked gently. I don't need to anymore, Emily smiled. The past is the past. Now I have a real family. The trial had concluded 6 months earlier. Mother Carol and sister Jessica received guilty verdicts for fraud and 3 years probation. However, Father Robert received a prison sentence as the ringleader of organized fraud and was currently serving a 5-year term. The investigation revealed that Robert had planned and directed the family's fraudulent activities. Jessica's social media accounts exploded with backlash following news reports of the case, and she deleted all accounts and disappeared. Brent was arrested in Europe for another fraud case and is currently imprisoned in Italy. Emily, can you help me? Catherine Harrison called from the garden. Michael's mother had become like a real mother to Emily over the past year. While preparing salad in the kitchen, Catherine said, I'm so glad you came into our family. I've never seen Michael look so happy. I'm the one who found a real family, Emily answered from her heart. I learned that there are things more important than blood relations. At the dinner table sat Emily and Michael, surrounded by the Harrison family. Judge Harrison offered a toast. Emily, a year ago, you faced a great trial. But you overcame that trial and showed us true strength. And you taught us the true meaning of family. Family is, Emily said, raising her wine glass, a relationship where people respect each other, support each other, and above all, love each other. That has nothing to do with blood relations. Rebecca added with a smile, Emily, you're my real big sister. You've become closer to me than sisters who've been together since birth. After dinner, Emily and Michael were looking up at the starry sky in the garden. Do you regret it? Michael asked. What? Prosecuting your family. Emily shook her head. Not at all. Those people didn't treat me as family. They ruined the most important day of my life and committed crimes using my name. That's unforgivable. You're strong, Michael squeezed her hand. It's because of you and your family. You all taught me what real family love is. At that moment, Emily's cell phone rang. It was an unknown number, but she answered. Hello? Emily, it's me, Jessica, her sister's voice was small and trembling. Big sister, I have something I want to talk about. Could we meet? Emily thought for a moment before answering. Jessica, we have nothing more to talk about. You live your life. I'll live mine. That's fine. But we're family. No, Emily's voice was calm but firm. Family means people who cherish and respect each other. Just being related by blood doesn't make you family. After hanging up, Emily smiled at Michael. Now it's really over. A year ago, on her wedding day, Emily thought she had lost her family. But in reality, she had found her real family. The Harrison family members respected her as an individual, loved her, and supported her. That was true family love, beyond blood relations. Under the starry sky, Emily felt truly happy. The pain of the past had healed, and she was full of hope for the future. She had learned that family isn't something given at birth, but something people choose and build together. Let's have an even bigger celebration for next year's anniversary, Michael said. Yes, Emily leaned against her husband's arm. With all of our real family. In the distance, she could hear Catherine and Rebecca's laughter. To Emily, it was the most beautiful music in the world. The laughter of her real family.